last 2 decades, pretty much half my life, I've been tearing apart old tattered baseballs and turning them into works of art. Started when I was in college. I was a junior in college, took a few old tattered baseballs from practice. I was a varsity athlete, a southpaw pitcher, and made an American flag out of old baseballs. It was right around when 9/11 happened, and I kind of credit that time frame in our country where everybody was really united around that tragedy and kind of overcoming it as the inspiration for coming up with the artwork, America's Game, the American flag out of old baseballs. For the last 2 decades, I've been making those kinds of pieces of art, patriotic art, America's Game, branched out into some other smaller pieces of art. But really the last few years I've felt a calling to make a larger scale, kind of once in a lifetime piece of art that spoke more to other people's stories, not just my own story. I've been for 2 decades sharing my story through artwork, which is, my love of baseball comes from my dad playing catch in the yard, and that bond that we shared going to ball games as far back as I can remember. And when I think about baseball, I think about my dad. I think about that bond that we share and the love that he has for the game, the love that he passed down to me for the game, and really the love that we have for each other through the game. And what I wanted to do is bring out that same feeling through this project, America at the Seams, because what I've come to understand through doing this for 2 decades is my story is everybody's story. It's America's story. There's a lot of people that have similar stories of that father-son bond of playing with the game, the traditions of the game being passed down through generations. And I wanted to bring that out through this project and share other people's stories. America at the Seams to me is symbolic of America's story. It's baseball and America combined together, and the game is so much more than a game. It's a tradition that's passed down from generation to generation. It's stories of sacrifice, of love, of perseverance, of hope. And when I see that tattered map made out of old baseballs, I see so many stories along those lines, stories of hope, of perseverance, and I see America's story, and that's why it's so fun to see this project come to fruition, is because what I see is something that can be enjoyed by all Americans, and something that I'm really proud of. So the America at Seams project started as an idea over 2 summers ago. It was the summer of 2015, dreaming up an idea to make a large-scale map of the United States out of old tattered baseballs. And when I thought about how to bring something like this to fruition, I thought about Kickstarter. I thought about how could I create something that everybody could rally around and support and be on board and come along on the same journey with me. And so I decided to launch a Kickstarter. It was in 2016, that winter, and the purpose of the Kickstarter was to make a 5-foot wide map of the United States out of old tattered baseballs. And in conjunction with that Kickstarter, I wanted to also share the stories of where all these baseballs came from. We deliberately got baseballs from all 50 states, from people that have powerful stories of how baseball is more than just a game. And so getting all these baseballs from all over the country, making a map of the United States from these baseballs, and then sharing these people's stories through a book was kind of the purpose and the goal of the Kickstarter, is to bring all these things to fruition. And it was February of 2016 when the Kickstarter launched, right before, kind of in the midst of spring training that year. And before opening day, the Kickstarter ended successfully with over 100 backers and raising over $17,000. It was just awesome to see how America just kind of rallied behind it and supported the project to bring it to market. So, fast forward, we brought. It was a long process of gathering the baseballs from all 50 states, identifying. I guess it was a long process of first identifying 50 stories in 50 states of how baseball is more than a game, how it brings people together, how it unites us as a country, and getting the right blend of different stories, different storylines across all 50 states. Stories of hope, of perseverance, of tragedy, and people overcoming tragedy, fun stories that make you laugh as well. And bringing all those stories together was a long 6-month process of collaborating and getting all those stories brought together. I brought on a guy by the name of Ethan Bryan, an author, a baseball writer from Springfield, Missouri, who helped gather these stories with me and interview people to bring out their stories, get them to send in baseballs. And then it was throughout early in 2017 when the artwork started to take shape and to become what it is today, the 5-foot wide map of the United States. One of the cool things about the project that was really meaningful to me is having my dad plugged into the project and helping me craft the states, the individual artwork. My dad is the reason I like baseball so much. Dating back to the T-ball days, him instilling into me the love of baseball, and so he was with me as I created the 5-foot wide map of the United States, all the individual states individually crafted. He helped me piece them together, and we brought on a professional photographer, Wes Eisenhauer, to shoot footage of putting the map together. And it was really cool that he was able to archive that experience, just having my dad being part of the project to piece it together and be along with me for this journey, just like he's been with me the whole journey of my life, and instilling into me the love of the game. When we finished creating the map, which was May of 2017, we were blessed with the opportunity to transport the map out to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in conjunction with the 29th Annual Cooperstown Symposium. And the map and America at the Seams was part of the presentation there in the symposium. And what was cool is I was able to drive this 5-foot wide map out to Cooperstown all the way from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a 2-day journey. And I had my dad riding shotgun with me the whole way out there. And so we were able to talk about, just reminisce about all the times we had going to ball games at Old Tiger Stadium in Michigan, going to ball games in St. Louis, also where I'm from. And it was just an awesome time to just have that one-on-one time with my dad, reminisce and just spend time together. Because for me, when I think about baseball, that's what I think about. I think about my dad and the time that we've spent together through the years, and to have him on this journey with me, to publicly debut the America at the Seams project, the artwork out at the National Baseball Hall of Fame, was just really a dream come true. It took 2 full days to get out there, driving a huge cargo van. Had a lot of laughs, a lot of good talks, just reflecting on just baseball through the years and all the fun memories we've had together, and also just the memories we've had on this project, of him being a part of the project and helping me assemble the map. And so we get out to Cooperstown. I get to speak at the podium in one of the presentation rooms out at the National Baseball Hall of Fame, having my dad sitting in the audience. I know he was just loving being there and seeing me up there, being a part of that presentation, and it was just a tremendous honor. I spent the good part of the first half of my life playing baseball. High school through college, I played at a D2 school in Missouri, Truman State University. I was a southpaw pitcher, and it was not being part of the National Baseball Hall of Fame in any way, shape, or form was never on my radar. My fastball was below 80. I relied on my junk. I was by no means an awesome pitcher, but the fact that through my artwork, my life after baseball, I was able to be part of the National Baseball Hall of Fame at the symposium, having my artwork displayed there is an absolute dream come true. Never thought in a million years it would be a reality, and it was a tremendous honor.